What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Melavong channel. Big shout out to everyone bringing up cheating, and now it's turning into a full-blown situation you can't ignore. Now, the girlfriend or fiance stepped in and shut some of that down real quick. She made it clear, loud and direct, that there was no prenup at all, no prenup issues, nothing like that. And it's interesting how she focused on that part, especially when everybody else is talking about cheating rumors. She wanted that cleared up immediately, and that says a lot. She's clearly thinking ahead too, because she doesn't want anything messing up future relationships. Let's be real, she knows her dating pool isn't about to drop off like that. Someone who was with the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys isn't suddenly switching lanes to a regular 9-to-5 life. That's just not how this usually plays out. So now she's trying to control the narrative, making sure nobody paints her as someone only chasing money, even though people are already side-eyeing the situation. And with this relationship looking like it's done for good, everybody already sees where this could be heading next. And yeah, it's giving child support vibes heavy.
But I do know, honey, I do agree with a prenup. But what kills me about this Dak Prescott thing, I don't believe it. Because I have never known of a African-American man cheating on a white woman. I can't believe that happens. I can't believe he was texting somebody else. I just don't believe that.
Gary,
I just don't believe it. Y'all believe that? I mean, I just don't believe it. I can't see that happening. So somebody lying on Dax, so I know that could happen.
You don't care about Dax. What movie have you seen he in?
Dax, he's a football player.
Oh, what football game you seen him play?
The Cowboys. What he's in.
When did you see him play?
The other day.
You did read the other day. And what did he do, Gary?
But regardless, he didn't sign that prenup with that girl, and honey, he keeping his money. I know that much.
Hey, Gary, it's not even football season, dog.
I know that.
Football season been over for a month and a half.
Yeah, but
you should have asked him, did the Cowboys win last night?
But it's sad. I just feel sorry for honey, Miss Rose, honey. I mean, this girl, he could have let her go, honey.
Sorry for her, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
You don't even know her.
She got 2 kids. Those kids are gonna be hungry.
She gonna
No,
be
they
straight.
not.
That's one
No,
insurance
kids ain't gonna
policy.
be hungry. That's one thing for sure.
Really? You
Yes.
think?
No, their kids gonna be all right, Gary.
Oh, okay, then. Well, congratulations, y'all. And then my quick one free story, y'all. They said for
Everybody already sees where this is going. People are expecting child support to come into play, no surprise there. But now, more details are starting to surface, and this is where it gets even more intense. The big claim being talked about is that he was cheating. Yeah, that's what's being put out there. And apparently, she hit him with an ultimatum to stop. And this lines up with what I said before. I just don't think Dak Prescott was trying to get married like that. I really don't. If your fiance, the mother of your 2 kids, is giving you ultimatums right before the wedding, telling you to stop cheating, that's a major red flag. That doesn't sound like a solid situation. That sounds like pressure building up. Because if someone truly wants to be there, you wouldn't even be in that position to begin with. It starts to look more like he was staying in it out of convenience instead of commitment. Things moved fast early on, a child came into the picture quick, and now you're in deep, while also being one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Of course you're trying to avoid extra drama. So what happens? You stick around, you go along with it, and then boom, an engagement happens. And some people are even saying that move could have been influenced by outside voices because being seen as a family man looks good for your image. But based on how family man lifestyle, at least not right now. Even at this stage in his career, that doesn't seem like the path he wants, and that's just what it looks like from the outside. And if his fiance already knew about the cheating and had to press him with an ultimatum a month before the wedding, that says everything.
Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott facing unexpected personal news off the field, as reports, including from TMZ, indicate that Prescott and his fiancée, Sarah Jane Ramos, have ended their relationship just weeks before their planned wedding. Mike Fisher reporting from Frisco on the Dallas Cowboys. The couple had been preparing for their destination ceremony in Italy, but sources told TMZ that the relationship had been experiencing tension behind the scenes, and that tension reportedly escalated during a recent joint bachelor and bachelorette celebration in the Bahamas. An argument and a split, and the wedding is off. Earlier this year, Ramos put up social media posts celebrating the wedding, and just on Thursday put up posts showing the celebration in the Bahamas. The couple made their relationship public in 2023. Cowboys quarterback proposed in October 2024. And it was going to be a very high-profile wedding. Instead, now they shift their focus to their family responsibilities. They have 2 little ones, 2-year-old and 10-month-old. And here comes a personal challenge for Dak Prescott. And of course, your thoughts are with everybody involved in the family, especially the children, as Dak Prescott, who's trying to do the right thing with the Dallas Cowboys, now has a lot of things to do in his personal life as well. In Frisco with the Cowboys, Fish out.
Because think about it, if she's telling him to stop and the wedding is that close and then the engagement suddenly gets called off, what does that point to? It makes people believe he didn't agree to change, like he basically hit her with "I can't stop" or just wasn't willing to move different, and that ended everything right there. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Page 6 actually dropped the cheating angle right after the breakup news first came out. At the time, it wasn't fully clear, so it was smart not to run with it too fast. But now, with this new update about the ultimatum, it's starting to line up with what was reported earlier. So now, the picture people are painting is this. She told him to stop dealing with other women, gave him that final warning, and he didn't go for it. That's why the engagement fell apart. And at the end of the day, not everybody is built for that family man role, and that reality is hitting hard in this situation. He's out here enjoying life as a Dallas Cowboys quarterback, living in Dallas, staying in the spotlight, doing commercials, building that brand. That's the lane he's in right now. Settling down doesn't seem like it's at the top of his list, and that's what people are picking up on heavy. Now, when it comes to how things started, it looks like everything moved fast early on. And just to be clear, kids are blessings, always. But when you look at the situation, if someone has to give you an ultimatum to stay loyal before a wedding, that tells you the foundation wasn't solid to begin with. Because at that point, it's not about building something real. It starts to look like pressure, like expectations stacking up. And based on how this is being talked about, it seems like he wasn't fully on board with that next step. People are even saying he might have been messaging other women during that joint bachelor and bachelorette trip, which only adds more drama to the story. And this is where the bigger conversation comes in. Some are saying he felt pushed into trying to make everything look right publicly. No outside situations, no messy headlines, just one relationship, one family image. Especially with a child involved early on, it can create that pressure to lock things in fast. But from the outside looking in, it just doesn't seem like that's what he truly wanted. It feels more like he was going through the motions instead of being fully committed. And now, with everything coming out, it's time to look at what's actually being reported. So let's get into this page 6 article. Sarah Jane Ramos reportedly gave her now ex-fiancé, NFL star Dak Prescott, a serious ultimatum before pulling the plug on that destination wedding. This is coming straight from page 6, and it's adding even more heat to the situation. Now, before getting deeper into that, let's clear something up real quick. She already came out and shut down all that prenup talk. She made it clear there were no prenup issues at all. She responded directly and said that wasn't the problem, so that rumor can be set aside right now. So back to what's really being said. According to a source close to the situation, Ramos, who called off the wedding just weeks before it was supposed to happen, made that decision because of what's being described as ongoing infidelity issues. And it didn't just come out of nowhere either. The report says she had a serious conversation with him back in January, telling him it was time to clean things up and move differently. And keep in mind, this was right after the season ended. Dak had already gone through a tough stretch on the field, and now he's dealing with pressure off the field too. That's a lot all at once. Now look, nobody's defending cheating at all. But at the same time, if someone never truly wanted to get married and still felt pushed toward that direction, situations like this can build up fast and explode. And from how this is being described, it sounds like those issues were already there, just waiting to come to the surface. It really sounds like there was constant pressure around marriage in the situation. Reports are saying Ramos had known for a while about Dak allegedly communicating with other women during their nearly 3-year relationship, but she stayed, trying to keep things together for the family. The couple shares 2 young daughters, Margaret, who's 2, and Aurora, who's not even a year old yet. That's a lot of responsibility, and it makes the situation even more serious when you look at everything that's being reported. But things apparently hit a breaking point after that bachelor and bachelorette trip to the Bahamas. According to the source, that's when Ramos found out even more, allegedly discovering that Dak was using incognito social media accounts to send inappropriate messages to multiple women, including past connections while they were on vacation together. And that right there is what really turned this into a major situation, because now it's not just rumors, it's being framed like ongoing behavior that couldn't be ignored anymore. Now, looking at the bigger picture, people are pointing out how different lifestyles can clash in situations like this. When you're a high-profile athlete with constant attention, that environment can create challenges in relationships, especially early on. And this wasn't some decade-long relationship built over years and years. This was around 3 years, not something that started back in high school or college. So from that perspective, some are saying things may have moved fast without a strong foundation holding it all together. At the end of the day, once that ultimatum was put on the table and things didn't change, it showed a serious disconnect. Reports say she confronted him directly, and after that, she called off the wedding that was set for April 10th in Lake Como, Italy, and ended the relationship completely. Now, here's another layer to this whole situation. Ramos, who is a certified wine and spirit specialist, yeah, that's actually her background, had people talking too. If you even know what that is, drop it in the comments, because a lot of people were confused by that title. Meanwhile, both her and Prescott reportedly sent out a joint email to hundreds of wedding guests, letting them know the wedding was canceled at the last minute. Imagine getting that message out of nowhere. That's a wild situation. They even apologized for the inconvenience, which shows how sudden this whole thing was, really. Now, when Page 6 reached out for comments, neither side responded right away, which only made people speculate even more. And that's when those prenup rumors really started spreading fast. But like it was already said, Ramos stepped in and shut that down herself. She responded publicly, even in a comment section tied to a podcast conversation, making it clear that a prenup was not the issue at all. She wasn't trying to let that narrative stick. At the same time, though, she didn't come out and deny the cheating claims being talked about regarding him. Instead, she focused on correcting the prenup story, even going on Instagram to say that had nothing to do with the breakup. And let's be honest, part of that could be about protecting her image moving forward. She wants it known she's not chasing money. She's not that type. At least, that's the message being put out there. Let's be real for a second. People weren't only talking about her prenup. Cheating was a major part of the conversation too. And while she came out strong shutting down the prenup rumors, she didn't come with that same energy when it came to the cheating talk. That stood out to a lot of people. She made it very clear. It's not about the money, it's not about a prenup, and kept repeating that message. But at the same time, folks are looking at the situation like, okay, but what about everything else being said? That silence has people reading between the lines heavy. Now, some are saying it wouldn't be surprising at all if a prenup was at least discussed behind the scenes. When you're dealing with that level of success and money, that conversation usually comes up. But according to her, that's not what ended things, and she's sticking to that story. Meanwhile, after that Bahamas trip, she showed love to her close friends, posting about how much she values having a strong circle around her. She said, "I truly believe you can get through anything in life as long as you have really great friends. I love these girls so much." And that message hit different considering everything going on. For context, both Prescott and Ramos are 32. They started dating in May 2023, welcomed their first child in 2024, got engaged just 8 months later, and then had their second child in May 2025. When you lay it all out like that, you can see just how fast everything moves and how quickly things shifted. At the end of the day, if it even gets to the point where someone has to give an ultimatum, that already tells you everything you need to know. That usually means one person isn't fully on board with the future being planned. And that's exactly how this situation is coming across. And looking at him specifically, it just doesn't seem like he's in that settled down phase right now. Yeah, he's 32, but he's still active in his career, still making major money, still in that spotlight. From his perspective, he probably feels like he's got plenty of time left in the league and no reason to rush into a lifelong commitment. So when you connect all the dots, it lines up with the earlier take. This didn't look like someone eager to get married. It looked more like someone going along with it while not fully invested in that next step. Now, here's where the bigger conversation comes in. Some people go into these relationships expecting a certain level of commitment, while others are living a completely different lifestyle. And when those expectations don't match, situations like this start to unfold fast. With high-profile athletes, there's always going to be attention, distractions, and pressure from all angles. And in today's world with social media and constant visibility, that lifestyle can be even more complicated to manage in a serious relationship. So in cases like this, it really comes down to alignment. If both people aren't on the same page about commitment, timing, and priorities, things can fall apart quick, just like what we're seeing here. And another thing that stands out, this whole situation feels like there was pressure around getting married. Not saying exactly who was pushing it the most, but it definitely feels like that energy was there. Easily picture a situation where marriage keeps coming up in conversations over and over, especially with everything going on behind the scenes. And then suddenly there's an engagement. But was that really coming from a genuine place, or was it more about keeping the peace? Because when you look at the timeline, it raises questions. They got engaged in 2025, and then the wedding was already lined up for 2026. That's fast. They reported about him allegedly messaging other women even during the bachelor and bachelorette trip. That's a huge red flag. That's not someone moving like they're ready for marriage. So from the outside, it looks like he might have been trying to go along with it to keep things calm, especially with kids involved and everything tied together. But when it came down to it, the actions didn't match the commitment, and that's what ended up blowing everything up. This situation is far from over, not even close. There's still a lot that could unfold, and people are already watching to see what the next move is going to be. She can deny certain parts of the story all she wants, but from the outside looking in, many believe this is headed toward a legal and financial situation involving child support. That's usually how things play out when relationships like this fall apart, especially with kids involved. Now, whether that actually happens or not, nobody knows for sure, but people are definitely expecting things to get complicated if both sides don't come to some kind of agreement. Because if they don't settle things privately, it could turn into a back and forth situation that drags out and gets messy real quick. The only way this really cools down is if somehow they work things out and get back on the same page. But right now, that doesn't seem likely based on everything coming out. Either way, this story is still developing, and more details could drop at any moment, so stay locked in. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think is really going on here?